Alright, it was Halloween night, 2020. I'm in a VC with some of my friends, and we're watching 2007's Trick or Treat. There's a scene with like this vampire dude in it, where they look at his face, and I saw it, and like on instinct, I yelled, MF Doom. And from that point, I don't really know how it started after that, but I went on like a 3-year hyperfixation of just Doom. He was like my top Spotify artist for like 3 years straight. Anyway, that's all to say, like, the one album that I never really gave more than a second chance was Born Like This. So for the first video, I wanted to go in and listen to Born Like This again and answer if I was really just like bullshit when I said I didn't really like this one. Anyway, here's some of my highlights from
Born Like This, into this, as the chalk faces smile, as Mrs. Death laughs, as political landscapes dissolve, as the oily...
Honestly, this is one of the only tracks off of the album where I'd say it feels the most like an original Doom track. That being said, Gazillionaire is probably one of the first songs that comes to mind when you think of Born Like This. And I can see that kind of being intentional, the old style being one of the first starting tracks of the album. Essentially trying to make sure you remember what Doom sounded like before all the tracks get all funky.
Spit out their oily prey.
Lightworks is really cool because honestly, up until like literally just now, I didn't know it was originally a J Dilla beat, whose sample was given to Dilla by Madlib. I've literally never listened to Donuts, so if I hadn't done this, I would have just straight up never found this out. But, so I guess like, because of causality and all that freaky shit, this is technically a Madvillainy track if you really think about it.
Into hospitals which are...
Alright, so originally I like really hated this track. I don't really think I need to explain why, but looking back on it now, I mean, I get it, it's supposed to be a joke and all that. So while I'm not the biggest fan of it beat-wise, it's got some funny bars. Hell, maybe I'm just a crazy Batman glazer and I can't stand hearing this slander.
So expensive that it's cheaper to die.
So I'm not really gonna say too much on this one because that is kind of a hard track for me to judge because I don't know, I'm like crazy nostalgic about it. This is one of the first ones that I really like got into. So it brings back a lot of kind of nice memories.
Into lawyers who charge so much, it's cheaper to plead guilty.
This song is both funny as fuck and pretty good. It's always nice to see Curious on a track with Doom again. And like literally every time I hear this song, the T-Pain parody just fries me.
Into a country where the jails are full and the madhouses closed.
Alright, so here are my rankings for every single version of Gazillionaire on the deluxe version. And we're done with the highlights. Alright, so re-listen's over, and there are my highlights. Moving through, you can kind of hear Doom's new grizzled voice that he keeps for the rest of his career. I know it's not really a style choice, but it does definitely change the sound of his other tracks. And you can really hear it off of projects like Key to the Cuffs. Generally speaking, there's some darker samples on this, like the start of Absolutely and the start of Cells. I actually really like that, and it's sad he didn't really keep it for the rest of his discography. But anyway, if I had to come up with a rating, I'd do like a 7.3, I guess. I guess I'll put it this way. When the tracks are good, they're good. They're really good. But when they're not, not so much. No, that's not to say that they're bad, but it's definitely nothing that blows me out of the water. I remember my favorite album from Doom period is his first one. And to me, that's just perfect, all across. So in my head, I'm kind of always comparing his other ones to Operation Doomsday. I mean, I don't think that's a bad thing. And I guess that's to say the reason why this whole video exists in the first place is just to kind of give me a reason to revisit this album specifically. just to see if my opinion on it might have changed. And yeah, I would say it did. It was kind of overall negative for me in the past, but now it's good. I like it. Anyway, that's the video. I know it's short and probably a little scuffed at times, but hey, it's the first one. I wanted to come out of the gate kind of swinging, at least a little bit, to show the general vibe of videos I'd be doing on here, so hopefully you've got an idea of what to expect in the future. If this goes well, hopefully this can become more than just a hobby, but who knows. If you do have a suggestion, feel free to drop it in the comments. I know the channel's small right now, so I don't really expect anyone to actually be there yet, but it's still worth a shot. Anyway, see ya.